Hello, welcome to my channel Shedding Light. Today I'm gonna show you how to make stacking rings. These are made of brass and copper. I start with sizing chart. This shows you how long of a wire piece you need to cut. Based on the thickness of your material, like I'm gonna use 16 gauge and 14 gauge wire, and then depending on which ring size you need, it's gonna show you how many millimeters long it needs to be. I have my brass wire here, and then I straighten it up a little bit. I straightened it. Anyway, I make it straight. Oops. So I cut the tip. I started cutting the tip with a flush cutter. This way the tip is straight. And then I measure. I cut a millimeter longer than what it needs to be, because I'll show you I'm gonna be filing and sanding the edges of the ends of the wire just to make it straight. So you can see here it's 50 something millimeters, whatever I need it to be, I don't remember. I think it's 52, 53. So yeah, we use this, so I'm gonna use this flush cutter again, but this time on the other side of it, because I want the piece that I cut to have flush ends on both sides. I mean, so it's flush, but it's not like super flush, so I gotta file it and make it perfectly straight, because I need to make those ends meet. So filing has to be only in one direction, so you file, take it out, file, take it out. And then you can see it's a smoother end now. You gotta do that for both ends and sand it off too, so that when they connect to each other, when I solder them, they're perfectly flush. And yeah, it's 52 something millimeters. I don't know what it was supposed to be, but if it's not the right size, I gotta keep going, keep filing it. And then when it's the right size, I bend it. This tool is super handy. Yeah, you can probably find it somewhere, but you don't need this though. You can use a regular jewelry plier, you know, the ones with round tips. That should work. The goal here is not to create a perfect circle. It doesn't matter what the shape is. The goal is to make the ends meet. Like, see, it's not meeting now. It's like weird. So you gotta make sure that it's perfectly flush and continuous. I'm from Turkey, and in Turkey, in the Turkish shop language, we call it "make them kiss." So you need to make the ends of this wire kiss each other, which means they need to connect perfectly flush. It requires a little bit of wiggling and jiggling, but eventually it's gonna work, I think. So more wiggles and jiggles until it's there, and see, yeah, I think that's pretty good. Next step is soldering. So that's, what is it called? That's flux. So we put flux on both sides, all around that connection point, and a little further too, like maybe 1/4 inch more on both sides. That's gonna be where our solder will be moving. And those are the solder pieces. It's just a little piece you need. I put it on that limestone and then light my torch, which is my least favorite thing to do. It's always weird. That's how you light it. You need to just turn it up a little bit because otherwise it's gonna be like whoosh, it's too much. So yeah, you adjust your flame and then the second knob makes it focus and increase a little bit more. Yeah, that's a solder picker. I'm searching for my solder there. Yep, found it. And I pick it up with my solder pick and then slowly back and forward on the ring until, at the beginning it's going to be a green light, you can see. You gotta keep going until your flux is disappearing. It's completely transparent. See, boop, it kind of melted there. So normally you would put it in a what we call pickle, which is a chemical juice. But because I don't have pickle, I have just boiling water in that cup. So I put it there to get rid of the flux. Next step is to clean them because they're yucky now. All that metal burned stuff on it. See, it's all like black and such. So I'm gonna use this brass brush. It's like metallic. So with that detergent, I just keep cleaning it. It doesn't have, I try to get as much as off I can, but I'm gonna be sanding off the remains, so I do just best I can. And you gotta wear those gloves because that brush is gonna sand your skin off. It hurts if you don't wear the gloves. So yeah. See, it's cleaner. It's not black anymore. It's a little better. Much better, I would say. So I dry them off, and then the next step is lightly sanding them just to get rid of that gunk if there's any more. And then I'll do more serious sanding next. So the goal is now to get rid of that solder there. See, it's like gray, like it's silver color thing in the connection point. It needs to look like a continuous copper material. So I'm trying to sand it off. Later on I discovered that first filing that part and then sanding the whole thing is faster and better. But then you need to use coarse sandpaper first, 320 I used, and then go with a second tour with a finer sandpaper and just lots of sanding. So much sanding. My fingers get sanded off a little bit, my nails in this process, but that was fine. I wish I had a hand cream commercial here to get some, I don't know, affiliate marketing or something. That reminds me, I don't know if that commercial existed here, but in Turkey when Neutrogena first came up, they only had a hand cream at the beginning, and they had these commercials where they were showing Norwegian fishermen using Neutrogena hand cream. I don't know I don't know if you have seen anything like that, but it was funny. Anyway, so yeah, you sand the whole thing, not just that corner, like everywhere. And we are somewhat at this place. It's still visible. I need to go more on it. I need to sand it off more. But yeah. Well, this is a brass one actually. But anyway, this is where you want to be at the end of all that sanding. See, it's like one continuous material. You don't see the solder anymore. This is called a mandrel, so you can see the ring sizes here. And we're gonna put our ring. This is where we're gonna get the ring shape finally. We're gonna get rid of that weird squiggly shape. And then we just hammer it with this hammer. It's like a paper hammer, I guess. It needs to be a dull one, otherwise you're gonna cause marks. You cannot do it with a metal hammer. But yeah, see, it's round, it's good. It's a ring-shaped ring. I put it on. It looks good. It's not ready though. Still need to go sand more. So I use this Dremel tip. This is one of the ones that kind of melt away the more you use it. I think they're called consumable. But anyway, I just keep going with it so that the ring gets like super shiny. You can see that sanded look turns into a shiny look. And if there are still marks or anything that I can see, I sand it off again and go back with the Dremel again. Yeah, I don't know how long this took me. It's been a while. Like I think I spent a couple of weeks on that tray of rings. Just sanding is the most part, you know. I keep complaining about it, but yeah, and then these copper and brass ones are good because, I mean, good to start with, because if you start with silver or gold, then you don't want to like ruin all that material. So in classes they usually start you with copper and brass, but I like the look of them. I mean, I think they're cool. They can lose their color a little bit after you wear them for a while, or if they like stay around in your jewelry box, they can turn a little greenish, but you can always polish them. There are these little papers, they kind of look like those that you would wipe your glasses with, but yeah, you can use those wipe type things.
A few minutes later.
Yeah, it took a while, but yep. So that's it. That's the ring. That's the end of it. And that's how you make a ring. Thank you for watching. I would be very happy if you like and subscribe. And just watch my other videos too if you want. That would be great. Thank you.